Hi, welcome back to Making It with Mingland. Today we're going to be on page 82, and this is what the page looks like. It's a short page. It has some stitching already on it, and the page behind it is kind of washed out just a little bit. And I think I want to I brought some things to play with, so we're going to just figure this out together. I have some lacy stuff here. It used to be a blouse, and it might be of interest. I've got this right here is part of that same blouse, and that might be a little bit much. It's a little bit heavy looking. I also have this right here that I could possibly put on the back side. So let's look and see what we would be covering up if we did that, because that would extend this page out where it's a little bit of a shorty. And I can even kind of cut, I could even pull it up and kind of make some little ruffles if I do that. Let's get some clothespins down here and see how that will look. And I have a surprise for you. I have microphones, but I need technical assistance, so I have got to get my husband or my daughter to help me figure out how to set it up, because basically the instructions just tell me what the parts are and not where they go. So, not being tech savvy, that didn't help me a whole lot. I used to be tech savvy before they played in my brain, but that's okay. I'm still getting things done. It just takes me longer, and that's okay. I accept that. Alright, we're going to put some glue down and get this started right here, and put our clothespin. It's the cheapest clip you'll ever buy. And if I had done this before it was assembled, I would have sewn this on, probably on the machine. I'm going to go ahead and put a bead of glue all the way down, about halfway down the page, so that I can work this. And it does, with the glitter glue, it does dry pretty quick. And I will come back and I will make sure that the folds are connected to something. This usually goes pretty easy. If you're not real good with your hands, or you're not real sure about using this, you can also take got these little chopsticks here. You can do it to where you put the chopstick underneath it to help make that loop, and they're a little bit more consistent if you do it that way. But this is a junk journal, and I'm not striving for perfection. I'm just trying to add details that kind of make each page different and unique. And I have really, at first I was kind of like, oh, 100 days, 100 days. It's gone by a little bit faster than I realized it would. I'm happy that I made the choice to do that. I really am. And I appreciate the ladies that, put this together. And you can find them in the link in the description, and also on the playlist you'll see their names. And this can be a little fidgety, but don't let it stress you. If it's not exactly what you want, you can lift it. It's not going to dry so fast that you can't play with it a little bit and get it better. And this is just an old sheet. It was full of holes, and my mother-in-law did not want it to be thrown away. She says, "Oh, but there's some good parts." So I didn't throw it away out of respect, but I have since taken this flat sheet and just tore it into strips. I've tea-dyed some of it. I've dyed some of it. I've even painted some strips. And I've given some thought to doing some on the gel plate. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see, if you'd like to see me do the fabric on the gel plate, because I am not the best person for gel plating prints. There's a lot of people that are a lot better than I am, and that's okay, because everybody's at a different place in their journey. But I do think, I have done fabric muslin before, but I've never tried this particular fabric. It is an all cotton sheet. It's not anything that's not a natural fiber, so I'm thinking that it will accept the paint. But you probably have to get it extremely juicy, if I remember correctly. So we may be doing that. I've been having fun with my gel plate. I've made some really pretty things over the past couple of days. When I was kind of on the mend, I come up here and I did play for just a little bit, and it felt so good. I had missed my craft room, even though it wasn't that many days. It just seemed like it was a long time. It's like going to visit a friend. You know, you just pick up where you left off and go on. And I'm glad that it's like that. I'm glad I have my craft room. It has it's like it has magical powers, you know, of healing. And I know many others, you know, have had their healing journey to come through art. So there's something that we all have that many of us have in common. Now, this may be a little bit over the top fancy. I was thinking there was a butterfly on this. Maybe not. No, I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to cut this as things start to fall. I'm going to cut this here. And on this, I'm going to cut it straight across. One thing I've noticed since since my surgery on my eyes, I can see my distance is getting much better. My problem was my eyelids had drooped so bad it was blocking my peripheral vision. So they had to go in and, you know, do some slicing and dicing. And one day I'll show you the pictures of when they marked me up. It was hilarious. I told my husband, I said, take a picture. He said, why? He said, you're not going to show anybody that. And I said, well, I might use it for an art project one day. He said, you're not right. And I said, you're right. I'm not. I'm probably not. All right, I think that looks very pretty. And I found this quote, art simply makes me feel better. And I think that is a perfect way to celebrate, you know, this healing thing that's going on right now. It wasn't my plan, but hey, I've been a good sport about it, and oh yes, we're going to do that. Okay, we're going to cut up right through here. Alright, and then let's cut across right here. Like I said, this was a blouse. It was my mother's, and after my mother passed, it ended up with me. So, I don't think it needs that part too. And I just, when I quit wearing it, I thought, it's too pretty to throw away because I really liked it, but it was so big on me the last time I wore it, I said, okay, it's time for it to go. I think I'm going to offset that just a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to go right down the middle first, and I'm going to position it, and then I'll put my sides down. And I want it turned this way because that top is straighter. And I like the way the flowers are coming through with the different colors. I think that's a nice touch. Alright, and we're going to turn this over, and when you're using these lace things, I pick them up wherever I can find them. Sometimes it's thrift stores, they're blouses, even lingerie. And I don't pay very much for them. Where if I bought appliques, I'd be paying, you know, a small fortune for them. So I try to be very frugal and use things. I get a whole lot more out of a big piece than I do a little piece on a card, you know, hanging by itself. So, all right, now we're going to turn this over and plop it down. And I'm going to use this, it's not parchment, but it's like what is on the back of stickers or something like mail labels. I'm going to use that because I know that glue is going to come through. I probably could have used Fabri-Tac, but I do not have any, so you can't use what you don't have, and my goal is to use what I have as much as possible. Art simply makes me feel better, and I hope it makes you feel better too. One thing I did not take into consideration when I laid that down is where I'm going to put my page number. So let me slide it up while I probably still can. Okay, let's do that again. Go this way. Okay. Glad I caught that before it had really set up camp. I can put it here. It won't be centered, but that's okay. I'm wonky too. And if you didn't see the hot mess video, you gotta watch it. You can see the little lizard that's been staying at my house. My daughter's just left her here to go down to Florida for her clinical. She was there for 3 weeks, and the lizard's so spoiled now. When she takes it home, we're afraid it's going to pout because I've spoiled her so. And I talked to her. She's actually kind of fun. If you'd asked me if I'd ever have a lizard for a pet or take care of one, I probably would have said no. But you know, you try to do what you can to help your kids out, and you're not going to find a sitter specifically for a lizard. Not that I'm aware of. So she's spoiled, and I'm going to send her back home next week. Alright, so we have our page finished except for our number, and that's going to need to dry just a little bit. And I don't know where the pen went that I was using to make my numbers, but when I did the 81, that was not the right pen. Ah, this is it. I thought it was a speedball. I just couldn't. Okay. See if that's dry enough. It's not quite dry, so I guess I need to be kind of careful with it here. Go down as far as I can. Yeah, it's not quite dry enough, so I'll put that page number on after it dries. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Until next time, be well, my friends, and have a great day.